Shmai everyone, it's JonnyVR here with another Time Lord Victorious review, and today I'm going to be reviewing Monstrous Beauty number 1, which is the first contribution of Doctor Who magazine. Before I start my review, just a quick announcement about some more free Time Lord Victorious content. Daleks is a 5-part animated series written by James Goss, the producer of Time Lord Victorious, and will launch in November 2020. Each episode will be 10 minutes long and will air for free on the Doctor Who YouTube channel. They did call it the final missing piece of Time Lord Victorious, which makes sense if you include Maze Theory's upcoming games that have been announced but not revealed. So I hope that they are still contributing to Time Lord Victorious. But honestly, I wasn't expecting anything like this, and it seems like a substantial free entry. So if you want to join in with Time Lord Victorious at no cost, make sure you stay tuned for that. And for those of you who want to give Time Lord Victorious a go, check out my Time Lord Victorious playlist, where I go through each product and the cheapest way to experience the story. The first part of this review will be spoiler free, then I'll give you notice when I'm going to go into spoiler territory, because if you've read this 9th Doctor comic and you want to talk about it, let's have a discussion in the comment section. Just beware of potential spoilers when making a comment, so maybe put a spoiler alert on your comment to let others know. So on to the spoiler free part of the review. First, I'll be reviewing this as if you bought it just for the Time Lord Victorious content. The first part of the Monstrous Beauty comic strips comes in the 20-page supplement. Despite being 20 pages long, the comic strip itself is actually 15 pages long, so it's a lot shorter than the Titans comics contribution. However, it does make up for it in some ways by having a faster paced story with less setup and plenty of plot development, including twists, shocks and new characters. The artwork is not as vibrant and colourful as Defender of the Daleks number 1, but this is an understandable decision given the setting of the actual story, and I prefer the artwork for the characters in this, as each character has a lot more detail in their faces to bring them to life. In addition, certain alien creatures look incredible. As part of Time Lord Victorious, this is the first contribution featuring the 9th Doctor and Rose. There are no real references to other Time Lord Victorious media, but there are nods towards things. As this is the first comic in the series, more questions are raised than answered. This means that, like Titan comics before it, it certainly requires you to read presumably the whole Monstrous Beauty comic strip from Doctor Who magazine. Which is not unexpected, but I do not find it accessible as they claimed Time Lord Victorious would be, as the first issue was increased from a price of $5.99 to $9.99 for the physical copy, and even the digital copy increased in price for the single issue to $8.99, in which case for the comic strip you would say that it's not worth it. But you can get a 3-month subscription on pocketmags.com for $10.99. And this would include a digital copy of the 3 issues of Doctor Who magazine that contain the Monstrous Beauty comic strip. This works out at £3.66 for each issue of the full magazine, which is a lot more cost friendly. Other Time Lord Victorious content in the main magazine consists mainly of interviews and a guide to the products. Overall, the magazine is a very high price for the comic strip that it contains, and if you just want to follow Time Lord Victorious, I recommend the 3-month Pocket Mag subscription. While the magazine is worth it for people who are consistent readers of the Doctor Who magazine, it features various other Doctor Who articles that would be of interest to fans also, including an interview with Tracy Ann Oberman, who played Yvonne Hartman in Doctor Who, and a look at the lost story Marco Polo. Other things that will also add to the value of this purchase is a code for a 6-part Big Finish audio from Doctor Who The Lost Stories, The First Doctor, performed by William Russell and Carol Ann Ford, the original actors for Ian and Susan respectively. Included in the physical copy is a diorama of the 9th Doctor's TARDIS and a double-sided poster with one side featuring Time Lord Victorious. In the digital edition, these are included, but how you would be able to experience them fully is up for debate. Perhaps you would have to print them out, who knows. I'm now going to go into spoiler territory, so here is your spoiler warning. What I like about this story is that the great vampires in this comic strip get a lot more story than the Hond did in Defender of the Daleks number 1. We see a lot of vampires and vampire ships, and they are suitably creepy. The comic is set during the Dark Times, and it does a good job of using this setting and makes me feel like the characters were somewhere they shouldn't be. The Doctor is terrified and doesn't want to stay. Part of the shock is when the Doctor realises that one of the characters is none other than Rassilon, and that the Doctor was among his own people. Except that the Dark Times was so long ago that they do not recognise his DNA, and nobody knows what a human is. In the promotional poster for the event, the dress that Rose is seen wearing is revealed to come from the character Freya Grystock, and this was given to her to look delicious for some vampires. Although not really a connection to other Time Lord Victorious media, I thought this was a nice addition. Part of the questions raised is what the ultimate is. It's clearly something that has affected the Gallifreyans, and it is also known as the Void, and I think that this could be referencing the time fracture that may play a big part throughout the entire Time Lord Victorious story. So there we are, that's my review of Monstrous Beauty number 1. Let me know what you think of this installment of Time Lord Victorious. Feel free to post a comment down below, but just beware there may be spoilers there, so perhaps put a spoiler alert if you're going to talk about the actual story. Stay tuned for more Time Lord Victorious reviews, and if you haven't already, check out my Time Lord Victorious playlist where I go through each of the products and the cheapest way to experience the story. If you want to support our channel, you can do so by going to coffee.com/skybotfilm, where you can tip us the price of a coffee, which you'll use to get better equipment and make better videos for the channel. So with all that said and done, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!